Welcome back, everybody, to another player perspective. This is the final one for Split 6, and I am joined this week with finalist top laner for 9 lives, Rolexus. Rolexus, how you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. So, first time in the LCUS, is that correct?
Yes.
How did you hear about the LCUS?
General Wally, the AD carry for the team, him and I are pretty good buddies in real life, and he found it on Reddit, and he was like, "Hey, let's vibe in this league and play this." And yeah, I mean, I just heard about it through him, and he heard about it through Reddit.
All right. Um, so, how long have you been playing League of Legends?
Since the very end, like the last week of season 7.
So you're relatively fresh compared to some of the other players in the league, but still, season 7—that's a long
Just
time.
about 2, 3 years now. Yeah.
So initial impressions on this split before the split started. You said General Wally kind of showed you this. Um, what was your thoughts and feelings coming into the split? How did you feel about joining this league?
So the first thing I noticed was the production quality was like pretty pretty high compared to my own standard at least.
Okay.
All of the really cool art and everything that they do for the finalists I thought was interesting. I thought the casting was really good, especially for kind of an amateur lower elo league. But I was really impressed with kind of the community as a whole and the amount of work that people put into it.
Um,
But if you're asking like in regards to the teams more, like
Either
what I was
one.
expecting. So, I mean, I guess I was expecting um, certain teams to be stronger than they were.
Okay.
Like I had Blitzkrieg rated at number 1 for the power rankings in the beginning of the league. Um, and I think I had Phoenix in like 5th. And honestly, I think if I had to do it again, I would put Phoenix at number 1. Um, Even after last weekend. So I still think they were one of the best teams, if not the best in the league.
Yeah, and that's one of the interesting things about leagues like this is you can sit there and analyze teams based on how you think individual players play, but until you actually see that team in action, there's no
Mhm.
real good indicator on how good a team is going to be just because maybe certain players don't play styles don't gel, stuff like that, and
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
it's always so interesting to see how predictions versus results go over the course of the split because teams obviously adapt and change. You guys stumbled a little bit out of the gate, but ended up pulling it back together and finished the season first seed, and now you're
Yeah, we
in the finals.
yeah we had a after that first week, about an hour and a half before our second series of games, we had a big old community flame session with one another and worked through our problems. But it turned out being good in the end. But we definitely weren't happy with one another at first. But things worked themselves out.
Well, that's good to hear. It's always nice to hear um, issues being resolved in the league because it helps keep things flowing and keep everyone interested for the following split and keep
Yeah, for
everyone
sure.
happy and not hating each other.
Except
Um,
for Wally. I hate Wally.
so, a little bit more about you and your preferences. Playing since season 7, there hasn't been a huge influx of new champions, but they've been starting to pump them out again pretty quickly.
Hmm.
What's your favorite champion? I know you're leaning probably towards Gangplank because everyone keeps talking about it.
Yeah, definitely Gangplank. As far as my favorite champion, like 100% Gangplank. I love pirates. Like I don't know why I wasn't like raised by pirates or nothing, but I have like a pirate ship on top of my PC. I've got a pirate hoodie. I'm a big fan of them. So Gangplank is definitely my favorite. And then champions that I play that aren't Gangplank, I usually have a pirate skin. Like when I play my Rise, I play Pirate Rise, or whatever the red Rise skin is even called. Um, but yeah, Gangplank's my favorite. I think he's got a really awesome kit, especially it fits my playstyle. It defined my playstyle because I learned that character, but then I learned things similar to it, right? So
Right.
I play these really safe top lane picks, and Gangplank, as far as safe top lane picks, is about as good as they come. And yeah, from there I learned Rise and a couple of others that I'm not going to say because I haven't played them yet.
Right.
But
Don't want to reveal your hand until.
yeah, I don't want to throw my team under the bus right before finals.
All right. So favorite skins, skin lines. Kind of touched on that a little bit. Anything pirate is right up your alley.
Pretty much, yeah. I like the Bilgewater skins a lot. I mean, there are even some champions that I don't really play a lot of, but like the Bilgewater skin will be on sale, and I'm like, fuck it, why not? Like, why not?
Those are all really old throwback skins too. Those were like some of the first skins that they had for the league, and those are still pretty good quality skins for how old they are too. I'm
Yeah.
really impressed at Riot's ability to keep updating skins
Oh yeah,
and
no, for
the
sure.
effects.
Especially because they've done this thing recently. I feel like where they take a skin line that's outdated and they'll revive it and make it kind of like a new and improved skin line, kind of like with the High Noon stuff that they did, right? Where they took all the
Yeah,
High Noon skins that were just cowboys before, but now there's like this demon western like alter universe that they've kind of created.
yeah, it's a lot of cool stuff and concepts that they keep brewing. It makes it so much harder to actually choose that skin that you want because instead of just like one or two skins for every champion you play, now there's like four or five, and it's just so hard to choose between them.
Oh, for sure.
So haven't played in the league before, but first time in the league on a team that's mostly new players. What's it been like for you guys, the journey through the split, and how does it feel being in finals now?
It's kind of crazy. I think that we all expected to at least make playoffs. Um, because we kind of identified early on that we wanted to be pretty competitive. We had different ideas of what that meant at first, kind of like what I mentioned about the whole week 2 thing. But
Right.
um, we were definitely happy with how we have come together as a team, despite some of our different opinions on certain things, and have definitely proved a couple of people in the league wrong about our overall performance. And I think that if not for our own sake, we have succeeded just despite the doubters. Uh, and I don't know, it feels pretty good. I guess we kind of had a chip on our shoulder after week 1, and it feels pretty good that it's still sitting there.
Yeah. Um, Being able to overcome troubling starts is sometimes very difficult for teams to do, but once you get that ball rolling, it's all that momentum is just pushing you, well, I guess to finals.
Mhm.
Um, do you or the team as a whole, do you have any like pre-match rituals that like help you get in the zone or anything like that, or maybe after a match to decompress?
Um, we don't really. Uh, as a team, no, not really. Um, my girlfriend's a great cook, so like I'll eat some of her baked food right before a match just because it's hello.
Got to get that
Oh, my
fuel up
screen
in
went
you.
black. Sorry. Um, yeah, because it's delicious. But yeah. As far as a team, we don't really have a ritual.
So, what has been your most memorable moment of the split so far? Obviously, we talked a little bit about just kind of like the early stumbles and just like the team needing to kind of get on the same page of what you guys wanted to do. But like maybe specific games. What are there any standout moments to you that you just look back and say, I'm proud of this, or that was really cool?
Uh, two off the top of my head. One was Wally's, and they're actually both against Phoenix, and just not the same week. So
Okay.
last night, Wally's Baron Steel was insane. If you haven't seen that, I highly recommend going and watching Game 3 of Nine Lives versus Phoenix. It was nuts. It won the game for us. And then the first time we played against Phoenix, there was a time where I got to play Rise, and I was able to take like 3 towers and an inhib in one push bot lane. Um, those are the most memorable moments, probably.
All right. So, looking ahead, we've got you guys versus Option 12 for the finals. It's a best of 5 series. I believe you played them in week 3 and Option 12 actually took you guys 2-0. Is that
No,
correct?
we two owed option
You
12.
2-0'd Option 12. I'm sorry.
Correct.
My facts are wrong because they're not facts.
That's a fact check.
I appreciate the correction there because that makes this question more interesting. Do you think you're going to be able to recreate that success in finals, or do you think option 12 is going to be a whole different beast than they were week 3?
I think that we know better than to leave up Master Yi, and because of that, it will be 3-0 no problem.
All right, you're predicting the 3-0, and you think the games are going to be easier than the one against Phoenix?
Absolutely. Phoenix, like I said, I still think if they had another month to figure themselves out a little bit, that they would have beaten us. If playoffs were a month from now, they would have won playoffs against us. So yeah, I think Phoenix is still the best team in the league.
All right. So you think Phoenix's performance against you was not you guys stumbling, but Phoenix just stepping up?
Yeah, I think that Phoenix, more even than us, improved from the beginning of the league. I think, like I said, if you give that team another month, they're the undisputed best team in the league.
All right. Well, Rolexus, do you have any other closing thoughts as we wrap this up?
Um,
Any trash talk
not
you want to throw down?
uh, man. Best dinosaurs are gonna be Slack and Truffle. Sorry, Greg, but you know, there's always third place, buddy, when it comes to the dinosaur battle.
12 may
And
be bigger than 9, but 2 dinosaurs are better than 1.
that's true. That's a fact. And I'm really excited to option 12 not winning an even split. And I'm looking forward to the Nine Lives flavored Gangplank fan art.
All right. Well, I wish you the best of luck in this week's matches.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. But all jokes aside, they'll be interesting games. Like they'll probably be pretty close. So, you know, and shout out to Phoenix for like really putting up a really awesome set of games.
Yeah, those
I know
games
that.
were phenomenal.
Yeah, they were. They were stressful.
All right. Well, best of luck to you, bud.
All right, thanks, man.